Let me start by expressing my deep sympathy to all victims of the recent devastating floods in Romania, Slovakia, Hungary, Czechia, Austria, and in my home country of Poland. I'm shocked by the extent of the damages. You have already exchanged yesterday with my colleague, Commissioner Lenarčič, on our response. Let me also be clear, affected farmers and rural communities can count on the support of the European Commission. We are following the situation closely and are in contact with the national authorities of the countries concerned, so we can receive a full assessment on the situation and its impact on farmers. This will also help us choose the best course of action in terms of assistance in close coordination with the countries concerned. As the fastest warming continent, Europe is particularly vulnerable to extreme weather events. They will become more frequent and intense. The European Climate Risk Assessment concluded that the European Union policies related to food production are not yet adequately prepared for climate risks. We need to build resilience in a proactive manner now and in the future. We need a systemic transformation based on an integrated and multifaceted approach to reduce and contain impact from floods as well as from droughts. Business as usual is not an option. President von der Leyen announced that the European Climate Adaptation Plan will be developed in the next college. In close cooperation with Member States, we need to step up action to build climate resilience, including in agriculture. On the latter, these extreme events remind us of the deep existential challenges that climate change and unsustainable management of natural resources, including water and soils, is posing to farming. They also affect significantly vulnerable groups, including rural communities and farmers. Specifically on drought, I attended the recent Mediterranean 9 agricultural ministers meeting in Cyprus. We discussed the challenges drought brings with both ministers and local farmers. And indeed, I experienced firsthand what innovative tools are on the market to deal with droughts, but this requires investments, such as investing in risk management tools and preventive actions or promoting drought-resistant crops and varieties that consume less water. The news I shared with them and I share with you today is that the European Union has a robust framework in place to support our farmers and rural communities in building longer-term resilience while reacting also in the immediate aftermath of crisis through short-term mechanisms. The Common Agricultural Policy is a central part of this framework. Member States can support preventive investments and risk management interventions, as well as eco-schemes and agro-environmental measures to help make farmers' production more resilient to shock. For instance, the Common Agricultural Policy encourages the use of drought-resistant crops, landscape management practices that increase water retention, efficient water management system and soil conservation techniques. Where appropriate exceptional market measures funded through the Agricultural Reserve can also be mobilised. Beyond the Common Agricultural Policy, the Union Civil Protection Mechanism and the European Union Solidarity Fund can also be mobilised in the event of severe natural disasters. Support from the national budgets can also be used in line with European Union state aid rules. The cohesion policy also provides important support to rural communities for climate change adaptation. Preparedness on community and national level to identify risks is also essential. Technology, research and innovation play a critical role in that regard. The Horizon mission on adaptation to climate change aims to accelerate adaptation efforts at the regional and local levels by deploying innovative solutions and providing support for climate risk assessment and adaptation pathways, with more than €490 million made available through dedicated calls for projects. The Commission is also strengthening its scientific and analytical capabilities so to better forecast and monitor droughts in Europe. On the core action areas of the upcoming European water resilience strategy will be to improve the early warning and monitoring systems against floods and drought. This helps public authorities to have the most complete picture of the events and respond effectively to public emergencies. Finally, Europe is not the only affected continent. Global action is needed and Europe should play its role. We should foster strong international cooperation to tackle droughts and other extreme weather events. Africa in particular strongly calls for a global response to drought. At the 16th Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Conventions to combat desertification in December in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Looking ahead to the next mandate, the report delivered by the Strategic Dialogue on the Future of Agriculture has highlighted that enhanced action is needed to facilitate the adaptation of agriculture to changing climatic conditions. The agriculture sector will need more investments in sustainable water management practices, water efficiency, including water reuse, smarter and sustainable irrigation, and, importantly, better soil management practices and nature-based solutions to retain more water in our soils. How exactly it will be achieved is the task of the future College of Commissions, and this Honourable House will certainly be informed of all developments in a timely manner. To conclude, the recent floods remind us that our farmers and rural communities stand in the front line of climate change. They cannot stand alone and none of them can be left behind. We already know what needs to be done and we already have a number of tools to our disposal. On that note, I thank you for your time and look forward to our discussion. Thank you.